Assalamu alaikum dear students. Our today's topic is types of frequency distribution. You see, frequency distribution is of five types: exclusive series, inclusive series, open-end series, cumulative frequency series, mid-value frequency series. In our today's topic we will discuss exclusive series and inclusive series. Now, what is exclusive series? You see, exclusive series is that series in which every class interval excludes items corresponding to its upper limit. In this series, the upper limit of one class interval is the lower limit of the next class interval. It's called exclusive series because the frequencies of the upper limit of each class interval is not included in that class. For example, in a class interval 10 to 15, only such items would be included the value of which is between 10 and 14. Any item of the value of 15 would be included in the next class interval, that's 15 to 20. So this is the illustration of the exclusive series. See, it's clear from this table that the upper limit of the class interval repeats itself as the lower limit of the next class interval, like here 15. It repeats itself here as the lower limit of the next class interval. Also, it may be noted that all values corresponding to say 15 have been incorporated not in the class interval of 10 to 15 but in the class interval of 15 to 20. Likewise, the value of 20 will be included in the class interval 20 to 25 and not in the class interval 15 to 20. So this is exclusive series. Now what is inclusive series? You see, an inclusive series is that series which includes all items up to its upper limit. In such series, the upper limit of the class interval does not repeat itself as the lower limit of the next class interval. Here it does not repeat itself as the lower limit of the next class interval. Thus there is a gap between the upper limit of a class interval and the lower limit of the next class interval. The gap ranges between 0.1 to 1.0. For example, 10 to 14, 15 to 19 and 20 to 24, etc. It represents an inclusive series. Thus all the items ranging between 10 to 14 are included in that class interval. Likewise, all the items ranging between 15 to 19 would be included in that class interval. In short, while in the exclusive series there is an overlapping of the class limits, upper class limit of one class interval being the lower class limit of the next class interval, there is no such overlapping in the inclusive series. Now we will discuss the conversion of inclusive series into exclusive series. You see, inclusive series are used when there is some definite difference between the values of various items of the population. In this table, if the student has obtained 14.5 or 19.5 marks, these can be expressed only if the inclusive series is converted into an exclusive series. Now, the steps that are involved in the conversion of an inclusive series into an exclusive series. First we find the difference between the upper limit of the class interval and the lower limit of the next class interval. That means difference between these two. That's the 14 and 15. Second point, the second step here is half of that difference is added to the upper limit of a class interval. That means it will be here 14.5, and half is subtracted from the lower limit of the class interval. That means here it will be 9.5. It will be 14.5 and it will be 9.5, and again here it will be 14.5, here it will be 19.5. Now, using these two steps, inclusive series of this table have been converted into an exclusive series like this. Here it can be like this: 9.5 and 14.5, 14.5 to 19.5. Now, when we convert this inclusive series into exclusive series, you see what are the differences between exclusive and inclusive series. Number one, in case of exclusive series, the upper limit of one class interval is the lower limit of the next class interval. However, in inclusive series, there is generally a difference between the upper limit of one class interval and the lower limit of the other class interval. So there is a difference between the upper limit of one class interval and the lower limit of the other class interval. Now, second point, the second difference here is, in case of exclusive series, value of the upper limit of a class interval is not included in that class, rather it is included in the lower limit of the next class interval. On the contrary, in case of inclusive series, the value of the upper limit of a class is included in that very class interval. The third difference here is, exclusive series is useful whether the value is in complete number or in decimals, but inclusive series is useful only when the value is in complete number. And number fourth difference here is, counting can be done in all cases under exclusive series. However, to facilitate counting, it becomes necessary to convert inclusive series into exclusive series. Today we discussed exclusive series and inclusive series. In our next topic we will discuss other three types of frequency distribution. Thank you very much.